Hello, my name's Eric Grigg and welcome to my short film about the mod movement and the rather fabulous little book of the history of mods that I've written. Where did it start? Well, let me take you back to 2001 where I opened a small little boutique mod record shop in Lincoln selling as well as music, badges and patches and the odd parka. Set up in 2001, only lasted for about 5 years, but during that time I wrote a nice little booklet about the history of mods that got quite nice reviews from the various mod publications of the day. Now, shut it down in 2006. Thought nothing more about the book for quite a long time afterwards. And then later I saw a copy of it go for quite a bit of money on eBay, and I thought I should get that back and turn it into a Kindle book. And then I started just correcting little bits. I ended up rewriting the whole thing, re-researching the whole thing and bringing the story of the mod movement right up to date. So now it tells a story right from the 1950s bang up to 2020. Well, where did the mod scene start? Well, the mod scene grew out of the jazz scene at the West End of London in the 1950s. British kids wanted authentic black American music, initially trad jazz, but also modern jazz, skiffle and blues. Now, skiffle was an odd British concoction of jazz and blues made on homemade instruments, supposedly based on the jug bands who played at rent parties in black neighbourhoods in 1920s America. Now, 1952, Alexis Corner and Cyril Davis started a blues night in the Roundhouse in Wardour Street that grew out of skiffle nights. There was other clubs like the Two Eyes Coffee Bar, which in the basement had a skiffle bands, and side lorries on Great Wimble Street, which had jazz nights 3 or 4 nights a week. Soon the West End was full of clubs playing not only jazz but blues and rhythm and blues music. A well-dressed cult emerged called mods in the West End, initially into jazz, but like the club promoters and the musicians drifted into blues and rhythm and blues music. They would drive around on fashionable scooters, often wearing overcoats to keep their nice suits, very stylish suits, clean. Soon the scene got into other black music like American soul music and Jamaican ska. As the London scene moved into psychedelia, in the Midlands and North, clubs kept playing up-tempo soul, and a northern soul sound emerged in clubs like the Wigan Casino, the Twisted Wheel in Manchester, the Mojo in Sheffield and the Broken Wheel in Retford. The dances were fueled by amphetamines, so often stolen from chemists, amphetamines that had been originally designed as appetite suppressants. In the 70s, initially in London, there was a revival of mod with bands like The Jam and Secret Affair. Scooter clubs that sort of lingered on in the 70s. In the late 70s and early 80s, massively boomed in membership. In the 80s, mod went underground again though, kept alive by fanzines and small labels. But in the 90s, it burst on the scene through Britpop that brought it into the mainstream, and bands like Ocean Colour Scene and Oasis wore their mod influences on their sleeves. Now in the 21st century, local promoters put on Northern Soul nights in the function room of pubs, and mod labels sell their music online, and scooter owners restore classic old scooters. So, if you want to find out more about the history of mods, buy my book. You can find it on eBay. The seller name is Ed's Music Lincoln, or if you want to download the Kindle version, you can find that on Amazon. Thank you for listening.